Welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. This show is about one thing and one thing only, turning your gym into a thriving business you love to own. So if you want to know what it really takes to grow your membership, make more money, and build a rock-solid community of raving fans, you've come to the right place. All this information is 100% free, so please subscribe to and review our podcast. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Gym Breakthrough Podcast. I am Marcus Gurzy, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming New Year's season and what you can do to make the most of it. So for a lot of gym owners, the New Year's season means an influx of lots of potential new members, and often it's the biggest influx of the year for the gym owner, right? So making the most of this can make a huge difference in your momentum and how you're starting this year off and to build some speed into the new year. So if you've been experiencing some weaker New Year's seasons over the last couple of years, you are not alone. It's simply oftentimes because you are simply not, got something popping up. You've been underprepared, or better yet, you've probably just been continuing to do what you had done in the past, which is kind of probably be a little bit more reactive. And what's happening now is that the marketplace is getting more and more competitive. The micro gym industry is not just CrossFit gyms and a few select other ones now. We've got everything from Orange Theory to Barry's Boot Camp and all these other micro gym models and variations that are just out marketing you, and they are snagging up all of those people that used to just walk into your door. So what we want to do is we want to talk about some common pitfalls today and what you can do to avoid them. And I'm going to give you some other tips as well to hopefully make this the best year for you yet. All right, so let's jump right in. Number one, common pitfall, waiting until the end of December or even January to start promoting your New Year's offer, or even start working on it, is a huge mistake, right? I get it. We've got holiday parties. There's things going on here during December, and it's like, hey, I'll get to that later. But the reality is that if you really want to take advantage of the new year, you actually need to start marketing in December. You need to get ahead of people shopping and going out there, because believe it or not, whether people even realize it or not, they're already starting to shop for what they may do in the new year. They're already starting to think about it. So if you can get ahead of most everyone else who are going to wait until January is already here, now let's put something together. Now let's start marketing or turn the campaigns on. Get ahead of that, guys. Start in mid-December. So that means you need to be starting to put your stuff together now. Don't wait until then to start doing it. All the gyms that we're working with are already actively building out everything they're going to be doing November, December, and January right now. So if you've been kind of sitting on your hands and kind of caught up in the end of the year, don't worry, you're not alone. It's not too late, but the time is now. Start putting together what you're going to do and start building out, whether it's those email sequences, those ads, creative, all that stuff. Get it put in place, get it ready to go so that you can enjoy your holiday and then already be getting some traction. All right. The next one is not thinking about the long game when you are putting your deal together, right? So something we see really often is a disconnect between these like New Year's offers and what you normally would offer, right? So let's say you are a premium service. We want you to keep it that way. So don't all of a sudden play the low barrier game just to increase lead flow and get numbers on the board. Because what ends up happening is you end up attracting the wrong people. And yes, you may get some bodies in the door. And sure, you still may get some conversions, but those people probably would have come in and signed up anyway because they were the right fit. And instead, you're also now bringing in a whole bunch of other people that are flat out just not going to sign up. You're not a good fit for them, whether it's financially or culturally. And lowering the bar too far just to get interest is how that happens. So rather than going for a super cheap or highly discounted offer, create an enticing package out of your existing offer by packaging it up. So let's just say normally it's an intro session, then you have a few onboarding sessions right into membership, right? That's a pretty healthy approach for, let's say, your traditional micro gym. So what you can do is you can simply turn that into a package of, it's a 4-week 28-day challenge or fitness jumpstart, New Year's fitness and nutrition jumpstart, call it whatever you want, and make it a 4-week or a 6-week or an 8-week package. And it's really the same thing. And you can just add on top of that an extra layer of accountability and just add some additional value to it, right? Some things that your members are interested in, like either some personalized nutrition coaching or support, extra accountability, extra in-body scans, that kind of thing. Don't cheapen it. Just give them more for the money, and or at least don't cheapen it too far. And again, because we want this to resonate with people who would be a great fit for you, and not just attract a bunch of deal seekers that really aren't going to be a good fit for you anyway. Okay, so next one is being underprepared for the influx when it comes in. And what I mean by that is that you're going to have more leads, most likely than you usually do. And you're already going to be busy with everything that's happening day to day in the business and whatever, increased lead flow. You do not want to get behind or not be on top of getting back to people as quickly as possible. Because here's the reality. Don't be fooled and think that you are the only gym that person inquired with. Most people will be shopping around this time of year, so you better be on top of it. And there's an old adage, which is sad but true. It's whoever gets back to the lead first usually ends up converting them in this game, because you have to remember the consumer does not most of the time know better, right? So they are simply going to go with whoever calls them back first and can get them in the quickest and makes it feel the easiest. I'm not saying that they're better, but if they were faster, there's a really good chance they're going to pull that person right out from under you, even if you were the perfect fit and the other one is totally not a good fit. But they're going to get their attention, their money, and the opportunity, and could blow it for that person for a whole nother year before they kind of get their motivation back. So you have a chance here to help someone really change their life because your program is awesome. So keep that in mind and make sure you do what you need to do to get back to people as quickly as absolutely possible after they inquire, right? And ideally, we're talking within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, if you can have someone on standby, or you have someone who's carrying the phone around with them, figure out a way to get back to these people as quickly as possible, because it is going to make a big difference in whether they show up or not. And obviously then if they show up, as most gym owners say, hey, all I got to do is get them in the door. Well, then earn it. Okay. And then number 4 was lowering the quality of your acquisition or onboarding process for the sake of efficiency because you have more people. This is the same mistake people made with Groupons and any of these like higher volume deals, is that they thought, oh, well, because you're paying less, I'm going to give you less of an experience. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? If you're trying to get them into your premium program that's all about the relationship and coaching and community and all the things everybody says, but then you say, okay, but since you're on this deal because it's super cheap, you can only come to these times and everything's just going to be automated. There's going to be no personal touch points or hand holding or onboarding. It's going for that high volume play incorrectly. And again, it's usually out of context in most of the micro gyms that we see. I'm not saying that there aren't high flow models that work, but most of the time they don't, because it takes a lot of extra work and staffing resources particularly to make that work. And most micro gyms that are independently owned and operated do not have that, or aren't willing to do it. Okay. So it's tempting to just make it easier and make it high flow, and it may look great because you're like, oh, look, people are just signing up. I'm not even having to do anything. Remember, we are in the game of creating lifers. We have to connect and build a meaningful relationship with every single person who comes in contact with our brand. And it starts with that first follow-up call or email or text message, the getting them scheduled their first day. Don't change anything. Whatever you are doing that is working to create, to bring in people, and maybe you don't have a lot of flow throughout the year, but once someone comes in, you connect with them, you get to know them, their why, you map out a plan for them, you check in with them after their first session, and you're sending them gifts and follow-ups and check-ins and accountability and nutrition support. Whatever it is that you're doing that's working, just plan on doing more of it. Don't cheapen it just for the sake of efficiency, because those people either won't convert, or if they do convert, you are not going to have the same retention and you're going to have that really short kind of churn and burn 3 to 6 months tops retention with a lot of those people, which is a really sad thing because you start the year off strong. You're like, man, we're doing great. We're going to do awesome. And then right before summer comes, people start already dropping off and you start to lose speed. And then you are going back into that last part of the year at a disadvantage rather than making the very most out of every single one of these opportunities, engaging, connecting, and trying to turn every one of those people into lifers, even if you're working triple time to make it happen, because that is what is going to give you that it's earned. That's how you're earning that advantage and that momentum, not to mention the additional cash to help you hopefully make up for what oftentimes was a crummier fourth quarter, which obviously we want to avoid that too, but that's a conversation for another day. So, a couple of extra tips. Getting your existing membership firing on all cylinders starting right now. So before you launch your campaign, by hosting like really good social events like a killer holiday party or member appreciation campaigns of different sorts, is gonna serve you really well. And the reason is because we want your existing community to feel magnetic and be buzzing and have your members just be totally in love with the place when new people start showing up. Because when the energy is high, people feel like they're coming into something special that makes them feel like they want to be a part of it, rather than if it's all just kind of blah and it's kind of crickets around the gym because everyone's busy with holiday stuff and everyone's kind of distracted, which is just how it happens around the holidays. You are not going to have that same either conversion or retention, right? So get everybody going. Plus, it can help you with referrals. You can launch a referral campaign this time of year, can work really well too. And try to get some of those people into whatever that New Year's offer is too. Another one would be to plan some really fun social events for the first couple of months of the year, either towards the end of January or February are really good times for this. And make sure that it's something that is going to be really fun for both existing members and for brand new people, right? So something like a bowling night or something that's just super low impact, but super fun and highly social. So that you can help integrate these people into your community. Do something where you're going to be creating, teams and partnering people up, and, make sure you're really following up with each and every one of those new people, particularly to make sure that they are coming and inviting them to bring spouses and family members and friends and whatever, so that you can bring, access their circle of influence as well. All right. So in summary, we want to make sure that we're getting started on prepping our campaigns for the new year now so that we can be ready to launch by mid-December at the latest. You want to be doing a ton of engaging content starting right now as well with your social media, by the way, so that your audience is warmed up online and connecting with you when you do start promoting your offer, right? So without getting into the weeds on your relevancy score and what Facebook or who Facebook chooses to show your content to or not, the more engagement that you have, the more people will see your promotions and so on. So whenever you are ramping up to do any sort of campaign, I always highly encourage double, triple, quadruple down on your social media engagement, trying to get as many comments, shares, likes, people comment, you engage back. Just make sure everything is firing on all cylinders so that whatever your relevancy score was, it's going up. Facebook's going to say, oh, this is relevant. Let's start showing this to more people. And that will help you as you then get into promoting your event, or excuse me, your offer. You want to engage your existing community to make sure that your community is as magnetic as possible when those new people start showing up so they can help you sell them. Make sure that your offer is compelling but not devaluing your services. And make sure that you are on top of your lead management to make sure that every single person is getting that personal, high quality touch point as soon as they reach out to you guys so that you can snag them and make sure you're the first one to get the booking ahead of anyone else who they may have also reached out to. Keep the quality of your services high to make sure people actually stick. Do not change the quality just for the sake of the volume. Just do the extra work. I promise it's worth it. And plan some fun social activities for people, both now in the holidays to get people warmed up and make sure your community is buzzing, as well as in the new year to help integrate those new people into that community. So let's make sure you guys make 2020 the best year yet. All right. So if you are interested in learning how we can help you fix your business so you can finally break through and start earning a great living doing what you love, simply visit gymbreakthrough.com/apply and apply for a breakthrough call with me. We will get to know you and talk about where you are and where you're trying to go and help make sure that you have everything in place to make sure not only that your New Year's is strong, but again, so that we can make sure that 2020 is your best year in business yet. What we are doing is legitimately transforming people's lives by helping them get clear on the business they actually have been trying to run this whole time, and then making sure that all of the sales, marketing, and client experience systems match that. So if you're interested, again, go to gymbreakthrough.com/apply to schedule a call. Spaces are limited, so do it sooner rather than later. That is it for today, guys. Get out there and build something that matters. We'll see you again soon. Until then, bye-bye.